السلام عليكم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسعدنا اليوم ويشرفنا هذه الجلسة العلمية لمناقشة الباحث محمود محمد سيد عبد الله المتقدم لنيل درجة الماجستير في التربية في تخصص مناهج وطرق تدريس اللغة الإنجليزية، وعنوان رسالته أثر استخدام برنامج تدريبي قائم على الذكاءات المتعددة على تنمية مهارات الاتصال الشفهي لدى طلاب شعبة اللغة الإنجليزية. اسم الباحث بالكامل محمود محمد سيد عبد الله. الوظيفة معيد في قسم المناهج وطرق التدريس بكلية التربية جامعة أسيوط. الدرجة المقيد لها الماجستير في التربية مناهج وطرق تدريس اللغة الإنجليزية. الدرجات العلمية الحاصل عليها ليسانس آداب وتربية من كلية التربية بأسيوط سنة 97 بتقدير عام جيد جدا مع مرتبة الشرف. دبلوم الخاصة في التربية من كلية التربية بأسيوط سنة 2000 بتقدير عام جيد جدا. تاريخ القيد 28/3/2001. تاريخ التسجيل 7/8/2001. اعتمد السيد الأستاذ الدكتور نائب رئيس الجامعة لشؤون الدراسات العليا والبحوث بتاريخ 25/6/2005 وقرار مجلس الكلية 19/6/2005 بتشكيل لجنة المناقشة والحكم على نحو تالي: أستاذة الدكتورة ابتسام مصطفى عطية رئيسا ومناقشا، أستاذة الدكتورة حياة رفاعي علي مشرفا، أستاذة الدكتورة إيمان زكي محمد مناقشا. ويسعدنا اليوم ويشرفنا وجود السادة الزملاء ووجودي أنا كضيفة الأستاذة الدكتورة حياة. حقيقة أشكرها على هذه الدعوة الكريمة، وأشكرها إنها أتاحت لي فرصة إني أنا أشوف حبيبتي وزميلتي الأستاذة الدكتورة إيمان. فنطلب الآن من الباحث
دكتورة ابتسام معانا، وهي يعني مش أول مرة الحقيقة إن هي تشارك معانا، دايما بتشرفنا في الدنيا كتير. وطبعا بشكر الدكتورة إيمان زكي تلميذتي العزيزة إن هي طبعا وقفت على نفسي وبعد يعني بشكركم كلكم على حضور المناقشة.
إذا كان الدكتورة حياة بقى تديني شكر، أنا هشكرها بقى على هذه الرسالة القيمة وعلى الجهد المبذول في هذه الرسالة، ويعني هأخر أوجه الجمال العلمي في هذه الرسالة لما يجي وقت المناقشة. والباحث الآن يتفضل بإعطائنا ملخص وفكرة عن بحثه في مدة لا تزيد على 15 دقيقة.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واصبر نفسك مع الذين يدعون ربهم بالغداة والعشي يريدون وجهه ولا تعد عيناك عنهم تريد زينة الحياة الدنيا ولا تطع من أغفلنا قلبه عن ذكرنا واتبع هواه وكان أمره فرطا. صدق الله العظيم. In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most compassionate. Acknowledgement. First and foremost, I thank Allah for blessing me with patience and persistence to accomplish this work. I wish to express my gratitude to many people who played many different roles throughout the course of this study. My deep appreciation and gratitude go to my main supervisor and teacher, Professor Dr. Hayat Al-Fa'ali, Professor of Curriculum and Methods of Teaching English as a Foreign Language at Mania Faculty of Education, for her insightful ideas, distinguished remarks and advice throughout the study. My deep gratitude extends to my second supervisor and sincere brother, Dr. Muhammad Riyad Omar, lecturer of Curricula and Methods of Teaching English as a Foreign Language at Associate Faculty of Education, for his great academic support, unusual patience and cooperation, great devotion, deep professional ideas, brotherly advice, and for his distinguished and respectable style of guidance that will never be forgotten. Many thanks go to all the teaching staff at Associate Faculty of Education and the Curriculum and Instruction Department. Thanks also go to jury members for their advice and valuable comments. Special thanks to Professor Dr. Salah Al-Din Al-Sharif, Dean of Associate Faculty of Education and Professor of Educational Psychology for his continuous encouragement, great support, and great favors that will never be forgotten. Special thanks are directed to Dr. Saber Ahmed Galal for his sincere advice, insightful comments, his extremely high morality, and his continuous brotherly encouragement till the end of the study. Many thanks to my teacher, Dr. Salwa Muhammad Said, for her guidance, creative ideas, and support during the initial stages of the research work. And also to Dr. Fatma Ali Abdelhaq, Dr. Hanan Ahmed Abdelhafiz, and all the teaching staff and colleagues at the Curricula and Instruction Department at Associate Faculty of Education. Special thanks are directed to Professor Sam Mustafa Atiyah, Professor of Curricula and Methods of Teaching English as a Foreign Language, and previous Dean of Faculty of Humanities at Al-Azhar University, and to Professor Iman Zaki Muhammad, Professor of Curricula and Methods of Teaching English as a Foreign Language at Mania Faculty of Education, for coming and having the burden to evaluate this work. I'd like to express endless thanks and gratitude to my wife and to my son Hazim for their unusual patience and great encouragement and support. Special thanks go to my father, the soul of my mother, which was surrounding me all the time, and all my family, and last but not least, many thanks to my brother, Mr. Basyouni, General Inspector of English Language Teaching, for his ideas, insightful thoughts, and great concern and support. Summary of the study. Introduction. We live in a period which is marked by vast changes and instability. These changes have affected our lives so greatly that we can never live detached from them. Being a very vital component in the human life, education should react to these changes because they have immense impact on the teaching process in general and on the teaching of foreign languages in particular. These changes are clearly depicted in the new methodologies that have emerged and posed themselves upon the educational institutions and the curricula taught there. It has become very important to address more students in the teaching-learning situation. This involves using multiple intelligence-based approaches, strategies, and methods to involve all the students in the educational process. Statement of the problem. After interviewing first-year English majors and many teachers and inspectors of English language, it became evident to the researcher that first-year English majors experienced problems in their oral communication skills. These problems were reflected in their poor oral performance and their inability to use the English language conveniently to achieve real communicative purposes. Therefore, the problem of the present study was presented in the following main question. What is the effect of using a multiple intelligence-based training program on developing first-year English majors' oral communication skills in English? Out of this main question, the following minor questions were drawn. 1. What is the effect of using a multiple intelligence-based training program on developing first-year English major skill of giving oral presentations? 2. What is the effect of using a multiple intelligence-based training program on developing first-year English major skill of expressing sympathy and responding to sympathy offered? 3. What is the effect of using a multiple intelligence-based training program on developing first-year English major skill of talking about likes and dislikes? 4. What is the effect of using a multiple intelligence-based training program on developing first-year English major skills of expressing opinion and agreeing or disagreeing with an opinion? 5. What is the effect of using a multiple intelligence-based training program on developing first-year English major skill of making requests and responding to requests made? Importance and significance of the study. A number of considerations may give importance and significance to this study. They can be stated as follows. 1. It adopts a new theory, MI theory, in the field of English language teaching, which may result in many useful implications for teachers and researchers. MI theory calls for multimodal teaching in which students are given more chances or options while they are learning. This may increase the students' chances for success. 2. It adopts a new type of instruction based on Gardner's MI theory that differs from the traditional type of instruction commonly used in the educational settings, which focuses only on two intelligences, the verbal linguistic intelligence and the logical mathematical intelligence. This new type of instruction is supposed to involve and reach more students in the learning process because it addresses their multiple intelligences which involve other non-scholastic intelligences other than the verbal linguistic intelligence, such as the interpersonal intelligence, the intrapersonal intelligence, and the bodily kinesthetic intelligence. 3. It calls for much concentration on the oral communication skills in general and the speaking skills in particular, which are becoming among the most important goals of learning a foreign language. Besides, mastering oral communication skills has become a prerequisite for the persons who apply for current jobs. Nowadays, many employment advertisements on the internet have begun to include phrases such as must have strong effective oral and written communication skills, outstanding communication skills, excellent written and verbal communication, organizational and supervision skills. 4. It sheds some light on the importance of coordinating between students' potentialities and teachers' types of instruction. 5. It suggests that student teachers who are majoring in English at the faculties of education should study communicative courses in English in their training programs that help to develop their oral communication skills. Needless to say, mastering communication skills is very important for those prospective teachers of English because they will be involved in situations that require them to be well trained in such important skills. Objectives of the study. The main objective of the current study was to investigate the effect of using an MI-based training program on developing some of the first-year English majors' oral communication skills in English. Out of this general objective, some minor objectives were identified, which were as follows. 1. Identify the oral communication skill that first-year English majors need to develop so as to use English in real-life social context to fulfill real communicative functions or purposes. 2. Designing an MI-based training program that may help first-year English majors develop some oral communication skills. 3. Introducing multiple intelligence-based instruction as a teaching approach in the field of teaching English as a foreign language, or TEFL in general, and using it in developing some of the students' oral communication skills in particular. 4. Evaluating the feasibility and effect of using an MI-based training program on developing students' oral communication skills in English. Hypotheses of the study. The following hypotheses were tested. 1. There would be statistically significant differences between mean of scores of the research group in each of the pre- and post-administration of the whole oral communication test in favor of the post-administration. 2. There would be statistically significant differences between mean of scores of the research group in each of the pre- and post-administration of Section 1, or giving oral presentation, in favor of the post-administration. 3. There would be statistically significant differences between mean of scores of the research group in each of the pre and post administration of section 2, or expressing sympathy in favor of the post administration. 4. There would be statistically significant differences between mean of scores of the research group in each of the pre and post administration of section 3, talking about likes and dislikes in favor of the post administration. 5. There would be statistically significant differences between mean of scores of the research group in each of the pre and post administration of section 4, expressing opinion and agreeing or disagreeing with an opinion in favor of the post administration. 6. There would be statistically significant differences between mean of scores of the research group in each of the pre and post administration of section 5, making requests and responding to requests made in favor of the post administration. Group of the study. The sample under investigation consisted of 30 first-year English majors at the Faculty of Education, Ascot University, where the researcher works, and who were chosen according to their willingness to participate in the study. Research tools. 1. A pre-post oral communication test prepared by the researcher. 2. A multiple intelligences or MI-based training program, also prepared by the researcher. Limitations of the study. 1. The present study was limited to 30 first-year English majors at Ascot Faculty of Education, where the researcher works, and who were willing to participate in the study. 2. It was limited to 5 oral communication skills, which are giving oral presentations, expressing sympathy and responding to sympathy offered, talking about likes and dislikes, giving opinion and agreeing or disagreeing with an opinion, and making requests and responding to requests made. 3. The content. Sorry. Okay.
Make it short.
Okay. The content of the program taught was based on 4 intelligences: verbal linguistic intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, and body kinetic intelligence. The results were confined to Egyptian environment and social and cultural background of the Egyptian students in Ascot City. Procedures of the study. The following procedures were followed in conducting the present study. Reviewing 1. Reviewing literature related to multiple intelligence theory and oral communication. 2. Writing the theoretical background of the study. Identifying some of the oral communication skills as first-year English majors needed to follow. Displaying a list over a panel of jury members that contains some of the oral communication skills, suggesting a frame of the program, and displaying this frame over a panel of jury members, suggesting the MI-based training program, and displaying it over a panel of jury members and making the necessary modifications. 7. Suggesting a pre-post oral communication test. 8. Piloting the test and the program and making the necessary modifications in the light of the results. Selecting the group of the study on the basis of their desire to participate. Pre-testing students and writing down average scores of each one. 11. Teaching the program for 6 weeks. 12. Post-testing students following the same procedure that were followed in the pre-test. 13. Gathering data and writing the results after using the appropriate statistical procedures. 14. Discussing the results, writing suggestions and recommendations, and writing the final report of the study. Results of the study. It was found that the MI-based training program had a significant positive effect on developing the first-year English majors oral communication skills. It was found that there were statistically significant differences at 0.01 level between the students' mean of scores in each of the pre- and post-administration of the oral communication test in favor of the post-administration of the whole test, and the post-administration of each of the 5 sections included in the test. وأخيرا أود أن أختتم حديثي باللغة العربية التي يعشقها قلبي ويؤلفها لساني بقول مأثور. يقول عماد الأصفهاني: إني رأيت أنه لا يكتب إنسانا كتابا في يومه إلا قال في غده لو غير هذا لكان أحسن، ولو زيد كذا لكان مستحسن، ولو قدم لهذا لكان أفضل، ولو ترك هذا لكان أجمل، وهذا من أعظم العبر، وهذا دليل على استيلاء النقص على جملة البشر، فإن كنت قد وفقت فلله الفضل والمنة، وهذا ما كنت أتمنى، وإن كانت الأخرى فحسبي استنفاذ الجهد والمحاولة، إن أريد إلا الإصلاح ما استطعت، وما توفيقي إلا بالله، عليه توكلت وإليه أنيب، والله من وراء القصد وهو حسبي ونعم الوكيل، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
على السمري الطويل. وقبل المناقشة أود إني أقول حاجة. فكرت وأنا جاية أول مرة لازم الواحد لما يجي يزور ناس بياخد لهم في إيده حاجة وهو رايح، فلقيت إن صعب جدا إن أنا أجيب معايا حاجة لكل أهل أسيوط. فقلت طيب الهدية اللي أخدها له إن أنا أشوف اسم أسيوط أو يعني إيه أرجع لكلمة أسيوط منين. فرحت الكتاب اللي هو بتحفة النظار في غرائب الأمصار وعجائب الأسفار لابن بطوطة. قلت طب أشوف اسم أسيوط، بلدة أسيوط دي قال عليها إيه. لقيته قال في سنة 1356 ميلادية قال وسافرت من منفلوط إلى مدينة أسيوط وهي مدينة رفيعة أسواقها بديعة. واستفسرت برضه فلقيت طبعا دي شيء ما فيهوش اجتهاد إن أسيوط هي البلدة التي اختصتها سيدة نساء العالمين السيدة مريم العذراء لكي تأتي إليها وابنها المسيح حتى تضمن الأمن والأمان إلى أن يزول الخطر عنهم. ده بالنسبة لي اللي بحثت فيه عن أسيوط. لكن لما جيت أبحث فيما يعني من امبارح لقيت إيه اللي أقدر أقول لكم ملك السرور علي كل فؤادي واليوم أضحى سيد الأعياد والعلم حط رحاله في طاعة جمعت جميع سادة الأمجاد. قد كنت أحسب أنني ضيف هنا لكني شعرت بأن هذه بلادي. ده اللي شعرت بيه فعلا. وكل من بيسألني إيه رأيك، لأن أول مرة أجي قلت إيه البلد بتحلم أهلها. فشكرا على الحفاوة اللي شفتها من ساعة ما جيت امبارح. نبدأ المناقشة. First of all, I would like to attract Mahmoud's attention to the title of the study, which says that the effective using a multiple intelligences-based training program on developing English measures oral communication. I think that, of course, I can change the title of the study, but I think if you have dropped the word training, it won't make any difference because the program, whatever is training or anything, it's a program. Then you missed the sample of the study, which is first year. You should have mentioned that a program on developing first year English measures. But you can change the title because it will postpone the paper 6 months. The acknowledgement, I shouldn't say anything here, but I found that you are thanking God for the study, but I think God must be thanked for everything. In the same time, many Arabic translation, the first paragraph, the second paragraph and the third paragraph, I think that you should review in order to make it better. And the last paragraph, which you are thanking your family, is not its place here. You can say dedication and you can dedicate the study to the family. Also the abstract, the second paragraph, you mentioned group of study before and after their training. This is the line, the last 3 lines of the second paragraph. You should say the sample of the study. Instead of saying group of the study before and after training, you should say that sample of the studies and starting from the second, I don't find the second, the whole paragraph is one sentence. Excuse me. To develop the communication here, we can say based on literature review, or we say review of literature of related studies. A list of 20 oral communication skills was prepared and displayed over a panel of jury members to select the most related skills to first year English majors. The group of the study consists, you can say the sample consists of 30 first year English major groups. The study included a training program based on Gardner's MIT to develop the students' oral communication skills and on oral communication test administered to the sample study. Okay. The third paragraph, student scores were gathered or collected. Usually we say collected. And the last line, you said skills are results reveal that the program had a great effect on the students' oral communication skills, and there were statistical significant differences between the pre and post scores used as the page of the table of contents, no balance. The first chapter 17 pages, the second 32, the third 12, the fourth 11, the last 28 pages. And the second page of the table of contents, not regular, معوجة. Did you notice this? Page 16. You said definition of, you usually say definition of terms. There is no need to mention of the study because it's the study, definition of terms. And number 2, intelligence, yes, you have to show, to write or to give us an idea about the meaning of the term intelligence. But multiple intelligence is theory. It's a theory, and you mentioned it in the chapter of review literature, so there is no need to repeat it again. And also multiple intelligences based instruction, you already mentioned it before. So it's enough to mention intelligence and speaking, communication. Okay, procedure of the study, page 18. You said in number 1, reviewing related literature and previous studies, to write the theoretical background of the study or to give the theoretical background of the study. Number 2, interviewing first-year English majors, specialists in linguistics and English language teaching inspectors and teachers of English so as to identify the most important skills that first-year English majors need to develop. Why you ask this sample? The English teachers, and I think that not most of them know the question which you are asking for. They are asking about the skills. Do you think that all the teachers of English know the skills which you are looking after? And when I reviewed the paper at the end of the study, I found the questions are not enough. You asked the teachers and the inspectors about the skills, and you didn't cite them. While for the English staff, you put the skills and you asked them, do you agree or you don't agree? Yes.
I asked it. Yes, okay. I asked English teachers to identify the skills that the students need to develop, because I need to identify the shortcomings involved in the students while they were learning during the secondary stage. So I try to get or make the best use of their background or experience or expertise as teachers in order to know what extent these skills need to be developed, and to know what are the skills that students still need to develop even after being involved or after studying in the English department.
But you want to know, you wanted to know the skills which they should know or they should study. But you didn't mention them. Maybe they will write some of them and they forget the others.
Yes, I tried to make them mention the skills that they think that students need to develop.
Open your study on page 112. 112, yes. You ask for skills, read number 1, hello, excuse me? 112. Yes. In your opinion, what are the oral communication skills that secondary stage students need to continue developing after they join the English department? Do you think how many teachers are able to answer this question?
Some experienced teachers.
How many?
All teachers, about 20 teachers. They answered this question really, about 20 teachers.
Do you think that they were able to write all the skills which you want?
Well, in the secondary stage, they have a section devoted, in the Hello series, they have a section devoted to developing oral communication skills, such as expressing sympathy, making requests, etc.
Is it written in the teacher's handbook?
Yes, of course.
Okay, why you asked them? You should have taken the teacher's handbook and the skills which they have to know.
Just wanting to know what are the shortcomings, what are the skills that they should or they need to develop after being graduated from the secondary stage.
You want to know their point of view
Yes,
about this? Do you think if they are graduated without knowing these skills is a shortcoming? Okay. Do they have a test which evaluate these skills?
The students?
The teachers usually put the test to measure these skills.
No, I don't think that they have a certain test, but they have in the language functions something that measures such in the language functions.
Okay. Page 124. You listed they are professors and you listed the skills for them. Okay?
Yes.
Why didn't you do the same with the teachers and supervisors? The supervisors are not teaching, but they are inspecting. So it's better if you have listed the skills. In the same time, number 5. Do you think that your students need to develop their oral communication skills in English? How? The same. Oral skills, you should have written them in order to show the teacher or the inspector the skills in order to be sure that their answers are accurate.
Yes, we have a list of sub-skills.
They have a list of these sub-skills in the teacher's handbook, okay?
Yes.
But you are asking them, so it is easier and quicker to list the skills in order to let them take أسهل. هيرجع للكتاب ويرد عليك لأن أنت عايز الإجابة فورية وسريعة. In number 9, do you think that students poor level will stay poor level?
Do you think that students poor level?
Yes, low level. Number 7, are students given the proper time that is required to enable them to use English communicatively? Why? Why not or why what?
Yes, are students given the proper time that is required to enable them to use English communicatively? I expect him or her to answer yes or no, and to rationalize his answer and say what are the reasons for that? What are the poor performance?
You are expecting yes. They are given proper time, yes. You ask her why?
No, this why is optional.
If not, yes. So
it's optional if the answer is no.
Something missing in the question. And if they say no,
Why not?
why not? It's because these are the instructions from the Ministry of Education. Every lesson must have a certain time to be covered in. No?
Excuse me.
Only do you think if we يعني إذا كان العلم نقول العلم ليه؟ يعني احنا بنفترض دلوقتي ان حصه واحده في اليوم ما بتكفيش. هيدي ايه ولا ايه ولا ايه؟ يعني what do you expect his answer to be? The time is not enough. That's what he will say. Yes, he has to find something away from him. Page 18. In number 5 and 6. 5, 6, and 6. Will you read it?
Okay. Suggesting a frame of the MI-based training program, displaying it over jury members, and then modifying it in the light of their comments. And suggesting the MI-based training program, displaying it over jury members, and then modifying it in the light of their comments.
The same. What's the difference
The
between the
difference
two?
is,
No difference.
the frame.
You can
The frame and the program. The first is
you
the
can
frame.
put it
At the same time, frame. The first is the frame.
number 7, piloting the program.
Yes. Should I read? Yes, okay. Piloting the program with a randomly selected sample from among first-year English majors and making the necessary modifications in the light of the results of the pilot study.
You should mention the number of students. 15? You
They
said
were
15.
15.
Yes. Yes. Number 9.
Okay. Piloting, should I read? Piloting the oral test with a randomly selected sample from among first-year English majors and making the necessary modifications in the light of the results of the pilot
The
study.
same sample?
No, another sample.
It means that they will be 30, 15 and 15.
Also,
The same sample?
no, but another sample consisting of.
It means that you are taking 30 students as a sample from the whole population.
Yes, after piloting, after piloting the test, I should choose 30 students. But as for the pilot study, I chose from 15 to 20 students.
All these students,
The same students, not the program, they were excluded from the program.
No. Very,
Yes, the same. The same. Yes, the same 15.
Pilots.
Oh, yes, I got it. Yes, the same 15 were tested and were trained. Were given a pilot study or a pilot sample of the program. 15, the same 15 is.
Okay, number 11. Retesting the group of the study for 4 years.
4 days.
For 4 days. How did you do this?
Retesting the group of the study for 4 days.
Is it the group, is the sample?
Yes, the sample is
The last sample.
30 students. Yes. I arranged a time with them, provided that each student take 15 minutes at least to be interviewed. And I tried to take from 7 to 8 students each day or every day. In each of the 4 days.
Mahmoud,
Yes.
when you do this, you have to put in your mind something.
Yes.
An experiment must be controlled.
Yes.
You shouldn't say 1 day 7, 1 day 8. There must be a control for everything. This is number 1. Number 2, if you examine them or test them, whatever you are saying, in 4 days, they will cheat. What does this mean? Every day, the first one will tell the other one the second day. How did you control this? معلش يا دكتورة، ما هو أول حاجة بتحصل إيه؟ الخارج سألك في إيه؟ عملك في إيه؟ حتى لو هو فن، يعني حتى لو مش مفهوش نمر من حب الاستطلاع. فهيبقى في حالة زي نوع من إن مش أول خبرة.
Okay, well, well,
Yes, he will prepare himself for this.
How to speak, how to express myself is different.
Yes, in the language. But here we are talking about intelligence. Intelligence means the mind must work. So you are giving the second group, the third group, the fourth group chance better than the first group. You will give them the chance to use their intelligence more than the first group.
Okay, well, I tried.
That's what I'm saying. يعني اللي احنا we are depending upon the intelligence. So the chance will not be fair for the four. This, you will say this is not an exam, but still we are after the scores which they have got,
Yes.
which they have taken.
Yes, of course.
So that this will interfere with the scores which they will gain.
Well, yes, I want to test the oral communication.
Depending on, yes, if you oral communication, I tell you something, if you have two things to think of, it will be difficult. First, the first group were thinking and using the language. The second group, they are thinking less than the first group. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. And they are confronted with the question, they will think about the question, and they will use the oral communication. But the second group are faced with the question which they already have an idea about it, and they will use the language. So this will interfere with the scores which they will get.
Very difficult for them to test their
One
students
day, one session.
one day.
It will be very difficult.
We can use more than one helper, raters. He used 2 raters with him while he was testing.
Yes.
So I'm afraid that the results will not act. Number 14 and 15. Write down student scores and analyze them statistically. 15. Write down the results, discussing them, and writing the final conclusion, suggestions, and recommendations. Do you find that there is a difference between 14 and 15? Can you group them together in one item? 14 and 15 together?
15 is completing.
Yes, but 14.
14, writing down students' scores and analyzing them statistically. This means that
You will write the scores?
I will write them down
Yes.
on paper
Yes.
and then use some statistical procedures to treat them.
Now, if you write down student scores, okay? Write down the results. The results are the scores, okay? In 15.
Yes, I got the results. I get the results.
الفرق مش واضح. ايوه ها ايوه وبعدين الريزلتس اللي هي الايه دي 15 و14 وبعدين 15 الريزلتس وعمل لها ديسكشن. طب والستاتستكس ما انا واخده بالي تبقى تبع ايه دي page 42 42 First paragraph at the middle. The social aspect of speaking is apparent when we deal with another one.
Excuse me, what's time?
42.
Sorry, which time?
Paragraph 1.
Sorry. The social aspect of speaking is apparent when we deal with another one who may have a different social or cultural background?
I prefer if you say to speak with another one because you are talking about the oral communication. Page 46. 46, the first line of the first paragraph. There are many reasons.
Yes, there are many reasons for the difficulties which teachers and students find with teaching speaking in the classroom. Continue. Okay. Teachers do not encourage students to speak English properly in the classroom. The following quotation may be the best description of the problem of speaking English in the Egyptian classroom.
Okay. You are talking about the class.
Yes.
Okay? The school.
Yes.
But you didn't mention anything about the university level, the college. I don't know why. Your problem is related to the college and not to the school. I expected to find even one thing about the college, but
Excuse me.
but you are helping them to go through the college. He's saying that the language is low, they are not. No one study is talking about the college. You know, huh?
In identifying the problem, I included some studies related to the university stage of the college.
Yes, well,
Sorry, the introduction, while identifying the problem.
you are talking about the school. Yeah, it's about the school. And the college is something different because the college, the program is different. The teacher is the one who chooses the book.
Yes.
The one who teaches is free to do whatever he likes. So this is a new experience for the students themselves. But the school, everything is planned for the teacher.
Because university does not provide them with oral communication courses, there is no way to speak about speaking.
No course for oral communication, but everything is in English, and the student has to speak English in the lecture.
Of course. So I try to follow the roots of the program and mention that the roots are represented in the second stage or in the classroom. Yes. So I mentioned the classroom.
The level which you chose, the college, is very, very successful because you can do whatever you like. Because in school it's very difficult to use your program. I think if you think about the oral communication, it's already fulfilled through the other courses.
Yes.
Drama is taught in English, so questions and answers are in English. Phonetics, novel, criticism, whatever, everything in English, so it will be very successful if you apply this program. The last paragraph, you said that mostly students have passive attitude toward English, particularly in Egypt. They are reluctant to participate in speaking activities inside the classroom. Why?
because speaking is discouraged in Egypt here. They take English as a foreign language, and they feel that there is no reason to speak English as a foreign language because we don't use it outside the classroom. So the main solution to the teacher here is to make intensive practice inside the classroom and encourage them inside the classroom to use English outside the classroom.
أنا
teachers in schools expect the students can speak naturally and don't divorce the hour of 10 minutes for speaking for Arabic students. And they expect that something naturally. Why this teachers? So they get how it speaks and then they imitate it. So they don't concentrate on teaching.
I'm answering what he mentioned here. I think that the problem that students are adolescents, so they are shy of committing mistakes. Number two, the time is not enough. I think that yes. Yes, first of all, the teacher, the one who is reluctant is the teacher. Number two, the time is not enough. The teacher has to teach what's written in the book because everything is related to time. Is it enough to teach this or not? However, after MI theory, however, the most relevant study is a study which was conducted on teaching a public speaking course. The most relevant study is study of whom? Page 55. The first paragraph. Yes, at the middle. You mentioned MI theory and full stop. Did you find this?
Yes.
However, the most relevant study is a study of whom? Of whom?
Study by whom? By
whom? On teaching a public speaking course. What do you mean by a public speaking course?
This is the study was conducted to improve the moral performance in speaking of those people who came to America, to the United States from other minorities. Okay, so the public speaking course here was its aim was to improve their performance in speaking skills. To this particular group who came to America.
The reader here will not understand this. I thought that is it a colloquial language? The colloquial language? Colloquial language or what?
However, the most
No, I didn't understand what the meaning of this. It must be revealed more. The last line says that the researcher classified the studies into some categories. So it classifies under certain categories.
yes.
You stated 5 categories. Studies dealing with the MI and education in general. Studies dealing with MI-based instruction. Studies dealing with MI in teaching foreign languages. Studies handling MI in English. I think that the last three are the most important, and the first two are the base for the last three, and it's enough to mention the last three, which are very related to the study. Page 57. What's the aim of the related studies? To show the study, and at the end you say the similarities and differences between the study and your study. But here I found something. The first study, you didn't mention anything. The second one, you said that in page 57. This experience of teacher with MI theory has an important vocational implication, which means that you are talking about the studies. Here, the aim is you have to show the similarity and difference between your study and of others, either every study or at the end, either after every study or at the end of the studies, but you didn't follow this. You have to follow one thing, to comment on the study at the end of every study or at the last of the studies. Page 68. The last paragraph, you said the experiment took place or was conducted. Page 68. 68. 68. The last paragraph. The experiment was conducted, not took place. Group of the study. We say group of the study or the sample. The last title.
Some people say the group of the study is
احنا مش عارفين نقول السامبل، كل واحد بقى له طريقه. Since the major aim of the study was to develop first-year teachers oral communication skills, the sample under investigation was derived